Brothers and sisters, welcome to my daily diary. I need to catch up on certain days here, so I'm going to walk you through December the 20th to the 26th of 2022. So now during these days, I was at home with my parents in New York, and my dad was in the hospital and in a rehab facility, and they were also very busy days with media following up on the Vatican's mistaken action that they took in regard to me and my priesthood. So I'm going to walk you through what I did during those days. The 20th was a Tuesday, so up there in New York, I started out with some early emails and had to, discuss with my board at the National Pro-Life Religious Council a statement of support that they ultimately agreed to, they suggested in the first place, agreed to unanimously to send out in my behalf. Constant requests for interviews, navigating those requests with the help of our communications team, communicating with Newsmax and all of our friends over there who have been so supportive, approving email blasts to go out, having some pretty strong communications I had to have with some church bureaucrats in regard to their misunderstandings, and communicated also with the regional coordinators of our Silent No More campaign, of which I serve as pastoral director. At 7:05 in the morning, I had a radio interview. 7:35 a.m., I had a second radio interview. Grabbed some breakfast, then at 9, grabbed some breakfast to talk with my mom a little bit. She started the day. 9:30 a.m., had a national interview via Skype. 10:15 a.m., had another national interview via Skype. 11 a.m., went on Taylor Marshall's program and spoke to him for an hour. When that hour finished at 12 noon, I had another radio interview. That one went for about 40 minutes. Grabbed a quick lunch, looked at some of the emails and dealt with some things of the items I just mentioned. At 2:10, had a national interview, One America News via Skype. At the end of that, at 2:30 p.m., I went on the Jason Jones podcast. Then after that, I went to visit with my dad in the hospital in the latter part of the afternoon and visiting with him there, and also spending time with my mom and my brother there at home. And at 9:15 that night, had another national interview on Newsmax, and that concluded the day. Wednesday, the 21st of December, what did I do? Started off at 6:30 a.m. with a radio interview. Continued at 7:05 a.m. with another radio interview. Grabbed some breakfast, and then 9 a.m. had a Zoom call on a great program called the Deacon Table. It was run by some Catholic deacons, and that was a lot of fun. Then at 10 a.m., I had another interview conducted by our friend Royce Hood, a pro-life leader and attorney. That was for 30 minutes. As soon as that was finished, at 10:30, I had an interview with a Christian newspaper reporter and talked with him via Zoom. When that was finished, at 11 a.m., I had another Zoom interview with Bishop Aubrey Shines on Real America's Voice, and we talked for quite a while. Grabbed a quick lunch, and then at 1 p.m. Went on Newsmax once again for an interview. At 1:30 p.m., taped a program for Right Side Broadcasting Network. Checked in on my family, talked with my mom a little bit, dealt with some emails on the following topic: adjustments to our website, the upcoming prayer service in Washington, D.C., upcoming trips that I need to approve details for, arrangements for donors who want to give to us, and trying to keep up on a barrage of phone calls and returning some of those calls. Then at 3 o'clock, I was on another interview. This was via Zoom. At 3:45, I was on another national program via Zoom. And then at 4:15, I was on a Skype interview again for a national program. And then by the end of that, I was pretty tired, visited with my dad again, and that was the conclusion of that day. Thursday, the 22nd, I had various email work to do and communication with my office in regard to media interviews that had to be set up, in regard to our technical department that needed some guidance, in regard to the response to many, many emails of support that my staff is helping me to get through, approval of various mailings by Priests for Life, communicating with the National Pro-Life Religious Council about their statement of support, and also finalizing a frequently asked questions document about me and the church leadership. At 12:30, I had an interview with Mr. Lou Dobbs, and that was really a particular pleasure to speak with Lou. And then, when I was finished with his interview at 1 o'clock, I had another interview with Danielle D'Souza Gill. Danielle is the daughter of Dinesh D'Souza, and we know her well, and she interviewed me. And then I communicated with my family some more, visiting with them and with my dad, who was coming along in his treatments, and spent time with the family. Went to bed early, by the way, both of these nights. Then came Friday, the 23rd of December, Christmas Eve. I had more emails to take care of in regard to inquiries from the media and messages to return on email, text, and phone from many supporters around the country. I also had a morning Newsmax interview via Skype at about 7:30 a.m. Went to the fish store to help with our preparations for our family tradition of having the fish meal on Christmas Eve. So I went to our local town fish store and picked up what we needed and helped to begin preparing it. Between that and the various emails on topics I just mentioned, I then had another Zoom interview at 11:30 a.m. and then took part in our family traditions for getting ready for Christmas, helped my mom, visited my dad, visited with my brother, and was home the rest of that day, and again went to bed pretty early. The next day was Christmas Eve, the 24th. I had an 8:20 a.m. News interview on Newsmax, and then I like on Christmas Eve to take a nice prayerful morning walk, reflect on the beauty of the feast day, spend time, of course, with my mom and visiting with my dad and getting the house ready for our Christmas Eve meal, and communicating with my cousin who was coming over and was preparing some of the food as well, communicating with various supporters, watching some Christmas worship services on TV and some specials on EWTN. And then as the afternoon moved forward, we got ready for our Christmas meal and had a Christmas Eve supper, very nice, and welcomed Christmas with what I usually do is open my cards that I've gotten during the Advent season on Christmas Eve while watching some of the broadcasts. For example, the Mass from the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception in Washington, and also St. Patrick's Cathedral Midnight Mass. I like to tune into those, and so I did. Then was Christmas Day. Up early in prayer and in celebration and in greetings to the family, of course, and visiting with them. Had our Christmas Day meal. Went through some more cards that I had to open, and Christmas greetings galore via text and email and phone calls. I stopped over to my cousin's house, and of course to church and so forth for Christmas. Then the day after Christmas, Monday the 26th, again with the family, visiting with them, visiting with my dad, who by this time was in the rehab facility, and helping out my mom at home and my brother, responding to some emails. For example, a letter from Alveda King of support for me, various postings online and on social media, more messages of support that I responded to, and more media interviews requests that I responded to as well. And then with all of that, it brought us to the late afternoon at 4 p.m. I had another podcast interview that lasted a nice, good amount of time, and then was pretty tired in the evening, but was there visiting with the family. So that takes us through the 26th of December, 2022. Thanks so much for following these updates, and we look forward to bringing you more of them. God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon.